Oliver and Jumpy, Volume 10 by Werner Stacecar. Ghosts at Halloween, Kite High, Elephant Heaven, Oliver meeting Jumpy. Is this your first encounter with Oliver and Jumpy? Yes? Then let me tell you about them. Oliver is an elegant tomcat, and Jumpy is his best friend. They are always on the lookout for new adventures together. Oliver lives in a treehouse on the mighty oak tree. He is the most famous cat in the country. Ghosts at Halloween by Werner Stacecar. Illustrator Macy N. Reyes. I like to visit our empty local castle. One evening I was enjoying the peace and quiet in the grand hall. Imagine my fright when suddenly I felt a hand on my left shoulder. "I'm the resident ghost. Are you a ghost too?" "I'm Oliver, a cat." "It's lonely here. Do you play cards?" asked the ghost. "I do." Ghost number 1 invited 2 more ghosts. Every room had its own ghost. We played all night and finished at dawn when ghosts have to disappear. I agreed to come back if they would help me with trick-or-treat at Halloween. When Halloween arrived, Jumpy, Joey and I, together with our 3 ghosts, went out and knocked on doors in the neighborhood. All the kids found it cool to meet real ghosts. Some of the children wanted to see if the kings were real ghosts. Ghosts are not only transparent, but you can also walk right through them. Soon Joey's bag was filled to the brim. At the next door, we each walked under one of the kings, so they floated over us. A big boy opened the door and cried, "Wow, those are great masks!" "We are not masks, we are real ghosts," the king said with their ghostly voices. The kids got scared, but soon recovered and loved the idea. The neighborhood kids followed us, just to see people's faces when they encountered our ghosts. This was the best trick-or-treat ever. Scary bye. Fly with our friends high in the air. Kite High by Werner Stacecar. Illustrator Marvin Alonso. A strong wind woke me up. It was a great day to fly our parachute. We went to the beach and took a seat in each other's lap. Up went the chute, and soon we were rolling along. "You are fast!" called a passing rabbit. "May I join you?" cried a small boy. The wind blew harder and harder. We were enjoying our ride when suddenly our front wheels lifted off the ground. The gale had become a storm, and now our back wheels were off the ground as well. "Everybody hold on tight! We are airborne!" Higher and up we went. What a beautiful sight! Some seagulls caught up with us. "What are you guys doing up here?" they asked. But we had already risen higher again. The direction of the wind had turned, and we began sailing inland. Joey was so absorbed by the sights that he was hanging over the edge to see more. He almost fell down. We saved him in the brink of time. Several pelicans were sailing slowly along behind us. Perhaps they could help us. The pelicans agreed to bring us down with their weight. Soon one of the big birds was sitting on my lap, and then another and one more. We began to drop lower and lower. We tumbled to the ground. Fortunately, no one was hurt. We thanked our saviors and began to walk home. What an exciting adventure! Flighty-bye! Elephant Heaven by Werner Stacekow. Illustrator Mario Tereso. We went to Ghost Castle for another adventure. Behind one of the old doors stood a large elephant. He trumpeted loudly and said, "Why did it take you such a long time to come? We have been waiting." I had no idea what he was talking about. He lifted me onto his back. Jumpy hitched a ride on Mummy, and little Joey rode on the baby. I soon realized that Jumbo had expected a cat like me to lead them to a fertile land with lots of water. Their current homeland was not providing enough food. I had no idea where that promised land was supposed to be. There was a range of mountains on the horizon, and I thought that the other side might be a good place. "Let's cross those mountains," I suggested. Soon we began to walk much faster because a grass fire, ignited by the heat, came roaring down from the west. We were quickly nearing a desert where the flames could not reach us. There was no food here, so we had to keep going. After a while, we saw several birds flying ahead of us. They were faster than we were and had found a river. There was a lot of trumpeting and water spouting among the joyful animals. We continued to the mountains where we hiked higher until we reached a pass. Suddenly, we heard a rumbling sound, and I saw a huge avalanche coming down the slope. We had hardly taken shelter when a lot of snow fell past us. Luckily, we could ride the elephants and did not have to walk through the high snow. We finally reached the other side, and before us lay a green, fertile land. My elephant scared me when he suddenly trumpeted with all his force. Then the others did the same. They had spotted some of their kind down in the valley. Their replies came echoing back. It became a concert of elephants trumpeting. Ellie, bye. The first time Oliver met Jumpy. Oliver Meeting Jumpy by Werner Steska. Illustrator Jon Rifai. Jumpy and I are together in most of the stories. You must be wondering how we met. One day I went with some of my friends on a safari into the outback to find a very rare flower. This flower can be used for brewing tea and is very good against a cough. It was hot and everybody was looking forward to a lunch break. After many hours, we reached the top of a mountain, where we finally found the flowers. Everybody started picking. I enjoyed the beautiful view. "Help! Help!" somebody was crying. It took a while before I realized that a kangaroo was laying under a tree. "We are coming!" I shouted. We hurried to the tree and found that the kangaroo had broken a leg and was in pain. I cut off 2 big branches from the tree and stabilized Jumpy's leg for transport. Yes, this is how I met Jumpy the first time, even though it was not a very happy beginning. In no time at all, we had fashioned a sleigh. We dragged Jumpy along. She was very brave and did not cry too much. Finally, a doctor looked at her leg. He said that Jumpy was lucky we had found her. She would not have been able to reach the hospital on her own. The doctor put a cast on her leg, and she was resting in bed. "Thank you for helping me. You saved my life. I will never forget it." In a way, without Jumpy's accident, I wouldn't have met her. Sometimes good things can come from something bad. Weeks later, Jumpy's leg was like new again. I had visited her in the hospital every day. The reason for Jumpy's accident was a mouse hole in the ground. She hadn't noticed it and fell. We told each other many stories and became best friends. I wanted to try out Jumpy's pouch, so I hopped in. It became a fun way to travel. Jumpy, bye. Thank you very much for reading Oliver and Jumpy. You are now a special friend, and you will be able to take part in all their adventures.